Welcome to Vital Signs Consulting. We are Gerhard and Kathleen and we'll be your host and your coaches for today. And today we're going to talk about how to fail more to improve your confidence.
This is an interesting one, and when we first started recording the series, this isn't something we originally thought about, but we got some feedback, and I've had a couple of colleagues ask me about this, so I thought we'd talk about something called Imposter Syndrome today. Now, this is something you may have heard of before. If you haven't, it's something really useful to know about as a business owner, because research tells us that at some point in our lives, about 70% of us are going to experience this. And it is something that we've come across in coaching our clients as well. So everyone might have had the feeling at some stage where you just don't quite fit in. You sort of feel like you don't quite have the right either certifications or the right skills to have the job that you're in. And you're really afraid that at some point people are going to find you out. And you feel like a fraud.
Yes.
All right. Certainly, I remember feeling that way in my first job. As a new graduate, I got my dream job really at a pediatric hospital. It was a fairly large hospital. There were 3 new graduates that worked together, but we were 3 members of staff who were all new. And I remember that feeling when we got our first call to the pediatric ICU, and we just thought, none of us know what we're doing. I don't know how we got our qualification. At some point, these pediatricians are going to figure out that we actually have no idea what we're doing. And it was a really confronting feeling. So there are a couple of different times where we might experience this. One of the times is when we're in a new, maybe quite pressured environment, a new job. Certainly, experts in the medical field often come across this, because if you're regarded as an expert, you feel like you need to know everything. So you'll often spend time reading up, going on courses, trying to learn everything. And of course, you're just not able to do that. It goes back to something we spoke about in our last episode. In anything, in any field, we start courageous, not competence. We have to develop competence over time. And I think it's quite common in business owners who are solo entrepreneurs, as they call them these days, where you're really having to do everything. And if you feel like you don't know everything and you have to ask, you feel like a failure, because you feel like if you're running your own business, you should know everything. And this is where having a coach or a mentor is really useful. Someone who can just help you reflect and understand that actually it's normal to feel like that, and nobody knows everything.
But it gets back to what we said previously, is that there's no perfect business. You always have to keep on learning. You always have to push yourself to be better. And the tools we gave you so far is to make notes in the previous session. And I want to add to that today, to give you another strategy that if you feel incompetent, is to go back to your notes. See what did work for you, what didn't work for you, and do the stop to-do list. But I want to add one strategy to that. Is when you look at what didn't work for you, there's an acronym CICR, scissor. Okay. So when you look at something that didn't work, to say, well, what could I have changed, improved, create, or remove so that it will work?
Okay, scissor, I like that.
Yeah,
that's a good
scissor.
mental image.
And if something worked, you can say, well, this worked, so how can we do this better? So what can we change, improve, create, remove? So what I've done when I heard this is, because it's new, it's not a habit of thinking about it, I thought I need to know a way how to remember it. So, and I've done the same with SOS when I heard it first time. I took a label maker, put CICR, cut it, and put it on top of my computer. So when I work, I'm constantly looking at CICR, and on this side I had SOS.
Okay, good visual.
Good visual. And it kept on reminding me that if somebody walks into my office and they say, I've got a problem, not to start to solve the problem, Okay, they say, okay, let's sit down. What can you change, improve, create, remove? And as a team, sort that out. So one thing, you empower your staff, that they feel, well, they solved this problem. And secondly, you just make one thing better. The whole idea is to be more. Okay, but to be more, we need to do more. And what do we do more? We need to practice strategies that we give you. If you use the strategies that we give you, SOS, ask those 3 questions. Why didn't it work? What did work? What is my stop to-do list? What can I change? What can I improve? What can I remove? What can I remove? Change, create, improve, remove. Use those strategies, okay, and you will see the difference in your business. Remember what Albert Einstein said, that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expect different results. Use these tools to get the results you want.
I like 2 things you said there. The one is, again, I guess what we've been saying is write stuff down. So the fact that you actually have it written on your computer, it's just that constant reminder, and you don't have to try and remember what the letters were. The other thing, I think, is when something's not working, there's often a knee-jerk reaction where you just go, well, that didn't work, let's move on. Whereas you might have something that is workable, it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. And when you come to it with this 4-pronged approach of, okay, you know, what can we change? Can we take this and just change something slightly? Is there something there that just needs to be improved? You know, is there something there that actually needs to be taken out and then it would work? You know, or do we need to create something that doesn't exist yet for this to work? I think that also means that you're not throwing out what are potentially good ideas, and you're not spending a lot of time starting from scratch, because often, you know, you're hitting the reset button when there could be something that you could do in a very small amount of time to make the idea workable.
Well, one Sunday night, I will never forget it, I discussed this model with one of my friends that's working overseas. And at Monday morning at about 10 o'clock, I got a text message. He said he discussed it the first thing with his staff, to say, go and see what you and your department can change, improve, create, remove. And by 10 o'clock, the first ideas came back. Immediate results. So it's not costing you money to do that, and you can see the results and you can implement. Again, it's about taking action to implement the ideas to get success.
And I think once you start practicing this, you're going to look at your failure with more confidence, because you're going to say, all right, that didn't work, but I'm beginning to get really good at seeing what I can change, improve, create, remove.
But that is also then a sign of a growth mindset.
Absolutely. Turning your failures essentially down the track into success and into profits.
The choice is yours. You can stay and do what you do every day, or you can start implementing ideas and get results.
If you like what you heard, hit the subscribe button. Here at Vital Signs, we're all about more education, more connection, and more inspiration. We'll see you at our next show.